It's DME here. R.K. Narayan's An Astrologer's Day is an interesting short story. It has a deceptively simple plot, although the full significance of the story becomes evident only after a second or even third reading. So I expect students to please go through the text at least twice to comprehend the story thoroughly. While reading the story along with the plot that we come across with, we need to even pay attention to vocabulary, characterization, and the minute details which are expected in our examination. As we all know, that our examination pattern is very simple, but at the same time it is too tricky. So we need to come across with all those details, and if we are aware of the questions under icebreakers or brainstorming, I am sure you will be able to understand everything that comes under the text. So when we go for this story by R.K. Narayan, we find that we have got only three characters here: the astrologer, a stranger, and somewhere at the end we get to know something about astrologer's wife, a minute character. The story begins with a description of an astrologer who is the central character in the story. In minute details, we come to know his appearance, his clothes, and all the materials he uses to ply his trade. Almost casually, the surroundings of the trader and even the astrologer begins to take shape. While there are no clear references to a particular city, it is likely that this story too takes place in Malgudi. You all know that R.K. Narayan uses this fictional city of Malgudi nearly in all his stories. The narrator makes it very clear that the astrologer is a charlatan. Charlatan, that is nothing but a cheat or a fake, who knows nothing about the future, but he is just a shrewd judge of character. We come to know that the astrologer is only good at reading people and telling them whatever it is they want to hear. He knows that there are certain vague statements that will stroke the ego of an individual, like, is there a female who dislikes you? You are not justly rewarded for your work. People find you intimidating though you are kind on the inside, and so on. So these are some of the types of statements always make people emotional, and we begin to nod our head. The narrator also gives a brief information of the young astrologer, how he didn't want to be an overworked farmer, and his travel by foot to a city more than 200 miles away. One day, a stranger challenges him, saying that he is not a real astrologer. His name is Guru Nayak. But we come to know this name only at the end of the story. The astrologer figures it has been a long day and the challenge is not worth the money. He tells the stranger to come another time, but the stranger is adamant. He restrains him and tells the astrologer to answer yes or no. Should the stranger continue with his current quest? The astrologer insists on a few incantations and thinks about the man's situation. He then asks if the man has ever been left for dead. And sure, he went through that situation once. The astrologer asks if it was a knife. The stranger, with increasing amazement, reveals a scar left on his chest by a blade. Whatever the astrologer says, it turns out to be true. When the amazed stranger asks when he should get his revenge on the person who assaulted him, the astrologer calls his name Guru Naik and says that the man he seeks vengeance against died 4 months ago. Naik is amazed. Why not Naik? Anyone may get wondered at this type of situation. The astrologer also warns Naik to never travel south of this village. If he does so, he will surely be killed. But if he goes home, which is 48-hour train ride north, then Naik can live well into his old age. When the astrologer reaches home, he hands his wife a large bag of coins that procured from Naik. She is thrilled by the good fortune. After a nice dinner, the astrologer confesses to his wife that long ago, when he was a teenager, he was the one who pushed Naik down the well and left him to die. The two had been gambling and drinking. They got into a huge fight at the end, and in a fit of rage, the astrologer stuck a knife into Naik and threw him down a well. But now that he knows Naik did not die, the astrologer feels relaxed, relieved of the burden that he was carrying for so many years, and that now he can sleep with a light heart. When we go through the story, we come to know that the astrologer is really a very versatile and adaptable character. He has had to learn by experience. This is perhaps the main advantage of relying on your perception, intuition, experience, and even what we call street smarts. The reader is relieved by the ironic ending too. The astrologer is innocent of murder. He uses his wit and intelligence to convince Naik that his assailant is dead. He is no more. The story ends on a happy note. The irony is never harsh or critical here. Human weakness is inevitable in this story. Ironically, the astrologer is not guilty of murder. When he learns the truth, he sleeps peacefully.